Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. I'm your host, Devon Evans, and tonight we continue with our breakdown of the 5 steps of staying motivated as a new barber. Just as a quick overview, so you can understand, our 5 steps to staying motivated as a barber is set clear goals, define specific achievable goals for your career as a barber. This will give you a sense of direction and purpose, helping to maintain motivation. 2, staying organized. Keep your workplace and space tidy and maintain a structured schedule. Step 3 is seek continuous learning. Stay up to date on the latest trends, techniques, and tools in the barbering industry. Step 4 is connect with mentors. Build relationships with experienced barbers who can provide guidance and share insight and inspire you. And step 5 is celebrate your achievements. Acknowledge and celebrate both small and big milestones in your barbering journey. Now that we've had a quick overview, let's jump into tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is going to focus on seeking out continuous learning. Stay up to date on the latest trends, techniques, and tools in the barbering industry. By doing things like regularly attending workshops or classes can keep your skills sharp and boost your confidence. Right, guys? So, one of the things that I have noticed in the industry is there's 2 trains of thought. And can I really be the judge of what's right and what's wrong? I don't know. I will tell you in my experience. Sorry, guys. I will tell you in my experience that seeking out new information and new knowledge and continuing learning is in all fields more beneficial than just dying out per se, or just saying I have enough information and I'm not going to seek any more information. When you do that, you close off your brain, you close off any chance of growth or any chance of change because you're not prepared for what may come in the future. You don't even care about the future. You're just thinking about this is what it's going to be right now. Sorry. And one of the things that I will say is that, and we talked about this a few days ago, that if you're not looking to grow and the only thing you are really looking to maintain is the clientele that you have right now, understand we're in a business that has a limited clientele life, I'll say. And so if you're 18 right now, let's just say, between 18 and 30, people are going to begin to lose their hair or cut their own hair or things of that nature. So if you are building all your clientele based off of your friends, based off of what you have at the moment, eventually that clientele is probably a handful of them are going to go bald. And so which means that you're going to have to bring in and you're going to have to get new clientele. Now, as new clientele come to you, that's understandable, but as the trends change, as the expectations of barbers and change, you have to change with it. All right. For my sports guys, the way that the game of basketball and football was played 40 years ago is not the same way that it's played today. Now, you could be the guy and say, oh, back in my day, it was played like this. or you progress along with the changes that are going on within the industry, being aware of it, being relevant, and staying along the lines to change and grow with them. That you could do that. I would suggest that because the growth is not going to stop happening. Just like I'm pretty sure if you look at your town, your area, what it looked like when you were a kid is not what it looks like now. And you can be upset and say, I wish it looked like it did back then, but it doesn't. And it's not going to. It's either going to do one of two things. It's either going to rot away. Your city would either rot away if it doesn't change, or it's going to change the way that it looks. But either way, something has to. If you make no changes, it's going to die out eventually. If you make changes, it's going to look different. Progression is always better than being stagnant. Because if you stay stagnant, eventually you will be irrelevant. Which brings me to my first point of the evening in seeking out continuous learning. One of the things that you're going to have to do and you need to do is stay curious. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity and eagerness to learn. Stay open to exploring new techniques, trends, and tools in the ever-evolving field of barbering. It's really just that simple, guys. Like, why would we block off growth? Why would we block off growth? That is crazy to me. Okay, what is the purpose of blocking off growth? And and I think about this. At one point, barbers weren't doing the techniques and things that we have that are going on today. But the industry has changed. And you have to change with it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of things that are missing from the industry today are classic barbering styles. Are classic techniques that some are truly timeless. I know a lot of barbers that can't clipper over comb. At least not that well. They can't. They can't clipper over comb. They don't know how to section the hair. They don't know how to they don't know how to section the hair. They don't really understand how to use shears correctly. They don't. And these are traditional standard barbering things. They're, if it's in the book, it's standard. I mean, I just want you to understand that if it's in the book, it's pretty much standard across the board. Okay, and I understand that we use uh we use guards and things like that, but at one time guards weren't a thing. It was clipper over comb, uh, barber wrist, detachable blades. Like that's how things were done. And I understand people might say, "Oh well, the game has changed." Yes and no. Yes and no. So, anyways, this is what I will say. Staying curious allows you to be able to solve problems in any situation. And that's what you have to understand. You need to be able to solve problems in any situation. And if you have no audibles or variables to your techniques, sometimes you may need to do something else in order to create the solution that you need for what you're doing. Right? Sometimes you may need to do something else to get the results that you're looking for. Not every client's head shape is not the same. Every client's hair texture is not the same. Hair density is not the same. Like, every client is not the same. And although I preach about understanding and knowing a system, the one thing really important about knowing the system is how your system reacts to the different textures of hair, the different shapes of clients' heads. Right? The big things that help barbers, or the big things that sets an average barber the big thing that sets an average barber apart from a basic barber, the big thing that sets them apart, you know what it is their ability to detail. Their attention to detail, their ability to detail is what sets them apart from the average client, the average barber, sorry. That's what sets them apart. Their ability to detail, and I'm not talking about detailing with uh, Photoshop or enhancements. I'm talking about their raw ability to detail within a cut. That is what sets many barbers apart. Okay, so again, and kind of jumped all over the place, but I'm just telling you guys, stay curious about this industry because it's an ever changing industry. It's constantly changing. There's new techniques. There's new things like there are new techniques. New techniques. Okay. I would dare to say there aren't really many new systems. There are new techniques. And I won't even. Yeah. Yeah. There. Yeah. New techniques. And more than anything, I would say that more than new techniques is generally just new styles, which are building blocks of old styles. That's generally what they are. They're building blocks on old styles. Mullets, mohawks, uh, things like that. Like, they're just building blocks on old styles. Okay, stretching the fade out versus a compressed fade. Like, the your system and how you achieve the fade doesn't really change, right? It's just you may spread the guidelines thicker in one, wider in one, in a stretched out fade versus a compressed fade, but you're typically still going to have to do the same steps. Still the same system. It's just how you apply the system to the style that you're trying to do. Okay. So stay curious and understand what's going on. Those what is probably really going to haunt you or really going to take some time to learn is you're going to get out here in the world and you're in the barber world and you're going to be working, and typically the things that you ignored the most or the things that were the most difficult for you in barber school or during your apprenticeship or things like that, they're going to keep poking their ugly head up until you figure it out. So you can run from it and say, no, I just don't do that. Or you can figure it out. Which brings me to my point of my next point: attending workshops and classes. Actively seek out workshops, seminars, and classes within the industry. These experiences provide hands-on learning opportunities to expose yourself to different perspectives and keep your skills ahead of the curve. Now, check it out, guys. I am currently I am currently out of town. I'm out of state. I'm actually in Maryland right now, visiting family. And tomorrow I'm going to a class on hair color. Because why? Because, like, if you know anything about my journey, when we were doing hair color or discussing hair color when I initially went to cosmetology school, I felt like it was irrelevant and that I wasn't going to do it. I was like, why would I need to know anything about that? Now, here's my thing in understanding leverage and service. We have a stylist that works in the shop that I am a part of. We have a stylist. Now, for on average, what she makes in one service, it takes us 3 to 5 services to do. And I'm just saying the service price, not the service including the tip, just the service price. It takes us 3 to 5 clients to make what she typically makes in one. And I understand some of you may say, hey, well, her service times are longer. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I get it, but if I could add, if I've got a client that's going to pay me $150 for a haircut, to color their hair, to do a gray retouch up or something, they're gonna pay me $150 to do that. Do you think that I want to line up 4 clients or just take care of this one? If he comes back every month, 2 months to get this full service and he gets haircuts in between time, that client is more valuable to me. That client also allows me to die down or to narrow down to, if we're talking about setting goals. If that client gets $150 service, and we go back to what we talked about before, if I'm trying to make $100,000 a year, working 5 days a week, and I need to make $384.62 a day, right? If I got one client that comes in, he pays me $150 for his service, then I have $136.62 left to make, I have $134.62 left to make in order to reach my goal for the day. So it takes it from I need 13 clients for the day to I need 7 clients because I got one that's going to pay me 150, and I got the other ones that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways to skin a cat. There's different ways to skin a cat. So again, I'm here in Maryland today because, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to take a class on color, and I'm going to introduce that to my services. Because what also is happening for me is that I'm taking, due to the school, I am minimizing my client services. I'm taking down the number of people that I'm servicing. So don't you think that I would like for the clients that are going to stay along with me, don't you think that it would be better for me, my opinion, better for me to provide services that have a higher yield than to try to pack so many clients into a limited amount of time? I think I would go with the to bring in services that produce a higher yield. That's just a thing. Okay, so seeking out these classes and these opportunities, you don't know where they are. If you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, Paul's Beauty Academy. If you are Paul's Beauty Academy offers classes throughout the year. Cosmoprof also offers classes throughout the year. I believe Sally's offers classes throughout the year. There are some barbers who are offering advanced classes, some cosmetologists who are offering advanced classes. Take the classes, take the opportunities, and learn. Take the classes, take the opportunities, and learn. Learn. Bring that skills, bring those and add those skill sets back into what you are doing already. Okay, so attending those workshops, uh, and classes. They're all over the place. There's some that you can get in person, which I prefer. You can also do virtual, which is also an option. Okay. Sometimes, and I will say this, even though we talk about YouTube being a place where you can get education and learning and you can get mentors, even though we talk about that, sometimes you still need a guide to direct you in the right path. Because there are certain things I will say for myself that I watched on YouTube for years that until I asked another barber in a place where I felt that it was an educational environment, until I asked them the questions that I was trying to find through the videos, I didn't necessarily understand. So I spent hours watching these videos trying to get an answer. And although I was seeing it, it took me to ask the right question to someone who was willing to share the knowledge, which was another barber. And once I asked that question, all of what I had done before made sense. And it was a 2-minute conversation, but I had watched hours of videos and still didn't understand it. But in that 2-minute conversation, it all made sense and it clicked. Okay. So attending the workshops and classes, the in person is excellent. And even if you were going to, like, being able to ask questions is what sets it apart, I believe. Asking questions in these places. In some places you may not be able to ask questions, but having a live instructor showing you what's going on. You can watch things like their body positioning. You can listen to their language. You can see what's going on. You can get a real visual, mental feel, everything that's going on in that environment. You don't always get that with YouTube and things of that nature. YouTube or someone's courses that they got online. You don't always get that. And that's okay. I'm just saying, in-person classes are a possibility. If you're on a budget, hey, go to YouTube University until you can get to the place, until you can get some money saved up so you can go where you need to go. Okay? And the final thing for this evening I want to talk about is to connect with peers. Engage with fellow barbers either locally or through online communities. This is kind of on the same pace of what we were just talking about. Share insights, exchange tips, and discuss experiences. Networking with peers not only broadens your knowledge base, but also fosters a supportive learning environment. Guys, we just went over this. So growing and talking with other barbers and your peers and everything like that is so, so, so freaking important. All right. Get with your other barbers, get with people that are willing to share and help you. Iron sharpens iron. That's just it. It's just it. Iron sharpens iron. Okay. And with that being said, like you will figure it out. But you've got to be in a place where you can ask questions and listen. If you're going to ask questions, you can't be upset about the responses that you get, because you may not get the response that you're expecting, but it may be the response that you need. Say that again. You may not get the response that you're expecting, but you may get the response that you need. Okay? If you post a picture in a Facebook group and a barber tells you that you missed a couple spots and you feel like this is one of the best haircuts you've ever done in your life, okay, Look at it. See if you missed a couple spots. See if you can identify. Ask. This is my piece. Ask them. Most of us have iPhones or Androids or something of that nature. Ask them to take that picture and circle the spots that they're talking about. Circle the spots that they're talking about, because it may not be that you missed a couple spots. It may be that the client has an indentation right there, or you took a poor angled shot, which gave left a lot of shadows in the head, or you may have just left some spots. And guess what? If you left spots, that's okay. Somebody pointed it out. You asked for help. Don't be mad at the answer that you get when you ask for help. Don't be mad at the answer that you get when you ask for help. You can't be mad at the answer that you get when you ask for help. You ask for help. And someone is trying to help you. And you may not like their delivery, but if they're taking their time out of their day and whatever they got going on to respond, and however it may come across to you, you can't be mad when you ask for help. Okay? You just can't. But connect with those peers. Connect with your barbers in your shop, barbers outside your shop, barber the next town over, somebody that you follow. Connect with them. You know, you can do like I did. Like I saw a barber in another city over. He was in another county, actually. We became friends. I was following him. I said, hey, man, like, dude's doing some nice stuff. And I wanted to go check it out. Now, we working together. We talk on a regular basis. I go down to his shop. We check out stuff. He's gonna bring some of his guys up to the school to learn some stuff. We built a relationship because I saw value that he had. He saw value in me. So now we created a bond, and we're both receiving value in the situation, because at the end of the day, we both love cutting hair, and we both want to see the industry grow. We want to see the industry grow in our respective counties, and we want to be a part of the change and the growth. I want to be a part of the change and the growth. Okay. So look, guys, connect with your peers, figure it out, and don't let the responses when you're asking for help derail you from what you're trying to do. Please don't do that. Don't take it personal. That's crazy. Doesn't If you don't like it, okay, get better. It's the only thing I can tell you. You don't like what they're telling you, get better. Period. So, to recap tonight's episode, the three keys to seeking continuous learning is: one, stay curious. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity and eagerness to learn. Two, attend workshops and classes. Actively seek out workshops, seminars, and classes within the industry. They're all over the place. They're in multiple different states. There's a lot of one-on-one and individual classes. You can find something. Find it, go, pay for it. It's okay. If you understand business, and which you should, you're in business, it's a tax write-off. So go seek the information out for business owners. Go seek it out. And don't be afraid to spend the money, because if this improves what you're doing on the back end, you should make more money, because you got, yeah, we'll break, yeah, okay. Finally, number three, connect with peers. All right, this is not a competition, guys. Unless you're in a barber competition that has an award set up at some barber expo or some barber battle or something like that. This is not a competition. And even if you are in barber expos or battles or anything like that, even though they call it a competition, it's good for the industry. It's just good for the industry. It's entertainment. Okay? It's just pure entertainment. We're not in competition. We're just not. If you're a good barber that does good business and does good business, markets himself, has great customer service and things like that, you are going to get more than enough clientele. And if another barber comes up and he does the same thing, he's going to get more than enough clientele. At the rate that barbers grow within the United States, in which I believe that barbers as a whole is 0.1% of the population. 0.1% of the population. At the rate at which barbers listen, we could get to 1% and there's still enough money in the barbering industry for everybody to make money. Okay? It just is. It really just is. So, again, guys, stay focused, stay curious, keep learning, have fun, and just be aware. Just be aware. Keep learning. Don't stop learning. That's crazy. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. My name is Devon Evans, and this has been episode 32, guys. We're really rocking and rolling, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. It's back to work for a little bit before we enjoy some turkey and stuffing and things like that, and we take a little break. So have a good night, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.